All right, this is like the 15th time I've tried this stupid thing. Bear with me. Let's wait. Hopefully we get some people on here. And then we'll answer questions. All right. Hey, I got one person. What we got here? Let's see. Modify this. I've never used this at all. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Well, I had one person. Now I don't have one person. I guess they didn't want to stay. That's sad. Hopefully my little flub up didn't screw anybody up. We'll just wait around on some people. I got lots of questions here. Well, not a lot. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 10 questions. It's pretty good. And then whatever questions you guys come up with while we're chatting. Welcome to my garage. Hopefully the sound's not too bad. Can you guys hear me okay? Hey. Yeah, technical difficulties. Okay, good. I'm glad it sounds good. Hopefully it looks okay. I'm using my computer's camera, so we'll see how this goes. And using the built-in streaming here into the browser that YouTube has, so we'll see how it goes. So, what's up? I'll be droned. We got Crunchy Thumbs and I'll be droned. Hopefully Crunchy Thumbs isn't too crunchy. Weather's not too cold up there, is it? You guys had any snow or anything yet? I saw there was some snow in West Virginia and a little bit north of there, I saw. Oh, man. I got some more line of sight flying in today. I put together a video. That'll probably go up, I don't know, Monday or Tuesday. I got to make sure it looks okay. Make sure the edit's okay. Did a little proximity line of sight. So should be interesting, or at least I attempted to do some proximity. No, not a 107. I don't really have any desire to be a 107 either. I'm not looking to make any money on this thing. So I'll get to that question, Anubis. I'm just waiting until we get a few people in here before I start. We'll go through all these questions here. See if we get a couple more maybe before I start up going through the questions. Oh, yeah, I think I'll try this out on the computer. So this is my garage. I'll show you this, guys. We're waiting to see, but this is my workbench. It's a mess. Look at that mess. Lots of junk stacked up over here. I need to organize this place. It's like terrible. Hot water tank. Look, I even got a TV out here. I can watch YouTube videos when I'm out here. The only bad thing is, like right now, it's not too bad. Temperature's been fairly mild today, like not super hot. When it's like really hot outside, this garage gets like an oven. So then I have to open the door, and then I've got a big ginormous fan that I can run. It's noisy as can be, but it can dump out the air out of here, and it cools down pretty good when you've got that got the door open and the fan running, but it's too noisy. Pretty quiet right now. I would open the door, but as soon as I do, my wife will open the door, and the dogs will come out and they'll go. They'll go right out the door, and then we'll be chasing them down the street, and that won't be any fun. So I would open the door otherwise. Get rid of the echo if I did that, but all right. All right, I got some questions here. So I'm going to ask questions. You guys can ask questions, and then, we'll chit-chat for as long as you guys want to do this, and then well, not too long, but as long as you guys want to do this within reason. And then we'll call it. Maybe I'll do another one sometime in the future. But I got some funny questions, and I got some sort of serious, not really serious, but you know, more serious questions, and then some questions that you go, huh? So anyway, we'll get to those last. All right, so let me see. Let me look through all these here. So let's start with an easy one. So Greg Moore asks, how long have I been flying? So I started flying at the end of 2014, December 2014. I was looking for something like every year prior to that, I would look for something online or something that I wanted to get for Christmas that I would like. Usually, like my parents would give me money, and then my in-laws would give me money, and my sister-in-law, they give me money. Like always would give me money. I just put all the money together and I'd buy whatever, right? And so I was looking for something online, trying to find something, and I always liked RC stuff. And I came across company Latrax, which is a sub company of Traxxas, and they had a little toy drone. I've still got it, but it's in our house in West Virginia. I need to bring it down. Little toy drone, but it actually was pretty nice. You could actually do manual mode with it. That's like way back, and you could actually do manual mode with it, which is kind of crazy. But that kind of got me started. And then I moved on from that, got me hooked, and then I found, what was that, Storm, HeliPal, and there was like a Storm Racer 250. So I went from that little toy drone to a 250 millimeter 5-inch quad. I didn't have, it had all the stuff to do FPV, but I didn't have goggles, and I had, you know, they were expensive at that point. And so I was saving up to get those, and so I was flying it line of sight in angle mode. And I ended up losing it on top of a mountain. And then I built I was like, okay, I don't want to lose one. So I bought a DJI NASA flight controller, and I built a 10-inch big old, I forgot the frame. Is it up here? Let me see. Where is that? Yeah. Where is it? I had it here somewhere. Oh, there it is. So I built a 10-inch on this frame, although you know this is not the same exact frame, but basically this frame, different arms. I broke so many arms of this thing, and so I built that, and it had like the legs that came down, and a big camera hanging down, and GPS and all that kind of stuff. And I flew that line of sight for let's see, all of 2015. And then in 2016, I added FPV to that. I think it was 2016. Added FPV to it. And then I was still flying it, you know, in its like sport mode or whatever it was. It's out of the GPS, but flying in sport mode with FPV with goggles. And then I decided I wanted to learn how to fly acro, and I used it. I took all the bottom stuff off of it, stripped it down, and I worked on flying acro with it line of sight at first, and did terrible. And then I decided I was going to try flying at FPV, and I tried flying at FPV in my yard in West Virginia, a little tiny yard, and I ended up crashing it several times in the neighborhood there, just right around our house, into my house, all kinds of stuff. So then I finally decided that I needed, I took it and started flying it FPV in acro mode, like in fields and that sort of thing. And then eventually I got to where I wanted to do more stuff, and so I decided to build a 5-inch. And I built a 5-inch at the end of 2016 using the Lumineer Sharpoo X frame. So that's really when I officially really got going with the FPV and all that stuff. It was probably end of 2016, but I started flying at the end of 2014. So what is that now? 8 years now, I guess. Going on 8 years. So that's how long I've been flying. It was from Greg Moore. Let's see here. A friend of mine, they asked us how we did through the hurricane, and we survived. Didn't really have anything go wrong here at our house. It's, you know, all block, stone, concrete, whatever you want to call it. So no real issues here. Lost power for a couple of days. That was about it. We had, I don't know, 70, 75 mile an hour winds that came through for, you know, a few hours. And then that was about it. You know, there was a bunch of damage around here. There was a lot of flooding around here. Not too much wind damage, which was good. So yeah, so we survived fine, did just fine. My parents came up, they stayed here. They have a trailer, and their trailer survived, no damage. Some of their neighbors had a bunch of damage on their roofs and stuff, but nothing too bad. And then, but they came up, they stayed with us through the storm, and then they went back home the next day. So yeah, that's how we did. Let's see here. I guess I kind of answered what got me started. That Latrax alias, man, it got me hooked on the stuff. I was going through looking for something. I came across that, and then I went down the rabbit hole of looking at videos, and I came across some Sharpoo FPV videos, and that got me hooked. After I got that alias, they got me hooked on wanting to do FPV, and then it was, you know, once I got into FPV, man, it was no looking back at that point, because once you're hooked on it, there ain't nothing else like it. That was from Chris Perkins. Let's see here. I'll give you a funny one here. So my old manager from the company I'm working for now, he was my manager several years ago. He sent me a coin. He says, "Where's my Bitcoin key?" Well, Mark, I don't know where your Bitcoin key, but if you can tell me why the cobbler's children didn't have shoes, then maybe I will find you a Bitcoin key. That's an inside joke. That was a crazy password we had on Wi-Fi. The cobbler's children had no shoes. Yeah, that's a crazy password. No longer valid. That whole stuff's all gone now. So don't go looking for it. I had several people ask me, but the first person asked me, E-Drone, how long I've had my beard. So I went back. I had to go back and see. I knew that I started growing it longer in 2012, but I couldn't remember how long I had been actually growing a beard, how long I've had a beard. So I went back, was looking through all my photos, and it looks like it was around 2010. I had a nice short beard that I kept for a while. And then in 2012, I've been watching Duck Dynasty, and I kind of got hooked on that stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to see what happens if I don't shave. I got tired of shaving. I was tired of trimming and all that kind of stuff, which is why I started growing to begin with. Because when I would shave, I'd get that real bad razor rash, and I always hated shaving. And so I started letting it grow then, and just kind of kept a short one and just trim it. And then in 2012, I was like, I'm just gonna see what happens. And so when I was growing it, it grew out like on my neck first, and not out here, like on my neck. And it looked awful, but I tolerated it and pushed through, and eventually all the rest of it came in. My wife now tolerates it. She would love me to cut it. And my mom would love for me to cut it. She was like, why don't you cut it back short? I liked it when it was short. You look so much better. So I don't know. At some point I may. I don't know. But for now, I'm keeping it. It's a pain in the butt sometimes. But I've gotten a pretty good routine with it now. So it used to be, it was a pain in the butt when I'd get up in the morning. It would just be like every which way, and I could never get it to like straighten out. But I found some good products from this company, Live Bearded. No sponsorship. I'd love for them to sponsor me. That'd be awesome. But so I found some of their products. They're really good. If you got a beard, any sort of length, they've got excellent products. And so I use their beard butter and their beard oil. I use it on my hair too, and it works really well. It doesn't make it greasy or anything. Kind of keeps it in shape. Real nice stuff. What's up, Birdman? How are you doing, bud? You got any questions that I haven't answered? Ask away. I'm just going through the ones that I've got, and then whatever you guys ask, we'll do. Let's see here. Anubis, he was asking just a second ago. He was asking if I'm going to do Paxember. I don't have any plans to do Paxember, but since you've asked, maybe I will. I would like to do some sort of challenge in December. I don't know if it'll be Packcember. It may be something else. I'm not sure. Maybe some sort of variation of that. I'd like to do that. It was fun. It was tedious. It was a lot of work, but it was fun. If I can get somebody to do it with me, if I can get Ranham to do it with me again, he probably won't, because he was like, man, that was a lot of work. So I don't know, we'll see. It's hard to find the time to go out and fly, particularly in December, because the days are really short. It makes it really, really, really tricky. He had the advantage of, he works nights, and so he would fly a lot of times early in the morning when he gets off work. He gets off work like at 7 or something. And so he would go out early in the morning on his way home and get a pack in. But man, it's still hard. It's hard to go and do edits and come up with something and find different places to fly and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you definitely failed, Crunchy Thumbs. Several of you all failed. You gave it a good effort, though. There was some people that gave it a pretty good effort. It's not an easy thing to do. And it's really not an easy thing to do when you got crappy weather. Thankfully, in Florida, it's dry in December usually, so you've got plenty of chances to fly. It's just finding the time. It's tough to do. But maybe I will. You know, if you guys want me to do Packcember again, give me a bunch of thumbs up on this. And if I get a bunch of thumbs up on this, I don't know. I don't have any number. But if you guys give me a bunch of thumbs up on this video, we'll do Packcember again. Maybe we'll do it anyways. I don't know. If you guys pester me enough. I would like to do it again, I think. I think it'd be fun. Let's see here. What other questions have I got here? Flappy Jack asked me why. Why not, Flappy Jack? That's all. That's the only answer I've got. Why not? Now let's see here. We got some questions about our move here to Florida. So Nappy asked me why we decided to move here, and my buddy Don, who does running, dude's doing like a 50-mile marathon. He's like training for it right now. I can't remember when he said he's going to be doing it. I'll have to go look and see. But Paxuary in January. Now that might be an interesting take. December is usually pretty good though. January wouldn't be too bad either. The weather's, you got a little bit longer days, and the weather's still really good down here. Nice and cool and dry still yet. So maybe in January we might do it. That's a good idea. But Don asked me if we miss anything. So why did we decide to move to Florida? And do I miss anything? So I'll go with the why first. So my parents live down here, and they moved down here quite a few years back, and then they ended up moving back to West Virginia for a little while to be closer to us. And then they moved back down, and my wife was needing a change. She was getting a bit depressed in West Virginia. Sometimes the weather there can really be depressing, and the area can be depressing because there's not a lot of stuff to do, particularly if you're not real into just outdoors like hiking, climbing, fishing, that kind of stuff. If you're really not in that stuff, then West Virginia doesn't have a lot to do other than going to the mall, and the malls are like dying because so many people are leaving. Really sad too, because it's a pretty state. So she wasn't doing great. She needed a change, and my parents had moved down here, and so we decided to make a change, and we kept our house, and I went online. I had some other friends that had moved down here. They had lived down here before. They had lived in New York, and then they had moved to West Virginia. That's how we got to know them. And then they ended up moving down to Florida when he retired from the military. And so I hit them up and was asking them about the area and stuff. And so they gave me some ideas. And so I just went online, was looking. We found us an apartment that we thought looked pretty good. And so we was like, we're going to go down. We'll give us a year lease. We'll give it a try. We'll see if we like it after a year and just try it. So we tried for a year. We still kind of liked it. We renewed our lease. And then the apartment wasn't as much fun as we enjoyed it at first. And so then it was like, okay, what are we going to do? Are we going to move back, or are we going to stay? And I really wanted to stay. My wife really wanted to stay. She was enjoying the area. She was like, we got to have a house. So we decided to go looking, and we found us this builder and met with them, liked what they had, and decided to put money down. And here we are. What is it now? A year later. So October of last year, we started this process. And then we moved into the house in August this year. So we've been down here now since the middle of 2020. So a little over 2 years now. 2 years and July, August, about 4 months now. Yeah, I know it's the weather, man. It can be depressing. With the problem in West Virginia is you've got these mountains, right, which are beautiful. The only problem with the mountains is like the whole state's very mountainous, and so your houses are all built down in valleys, and so the sun comes up, but it doesn't come up until it gets over the mountains. And then the winter, the days are a lot shorter, and so the sun doesn't come up till middle of the morning. I mean, it's terrible. And then it's down really early in the evening because the mountains are blocking it. And then there's a lot of gray days where it's just like overcast and gray. And so then you got the mountains blocking all the sun, the clouds blocking the sun, and it's just dark, dismal, and miserable. And then nothing to do, and it's cold. Yeah. So it can really wear on you. It can be okay though. I mean, if you get out, if you like hiking and doing that kind of stuff, man, it's great. They really need to capitalize on that, though. They don't capitalize on that enough. The town that we lived in Nitro, neat little town, got a really cool story. Maybe I'll tell you that story in a second. But, they had a really nice park that really wasn't utilized. And this one dude moves in who was big into mountain biking. And he just decided to start making trails. And he just went to there was trails in the park, but just like basically one. And so he just started making trails. And then he got the okay from the city to kind of go all in on it. He got some, I guess, maybe got some funding from them to do that. And now he's got a whole business making trails all over the place. And he's been doing that all over the place, making these mountain bike trails and just walking trails, all that kind of stuff. And it's really brought a lot of people into that little town to utilize the park and stuff, which is cool. So, I mean, if you're into that kind of stuff, West Virginia can be cool. It's really pretty. The real southern part of the state's a bit dismal because all of the economy is like dead thanks to the government, over-regulating the coal industry. And I'm not going to get into politics on that. So, anyways, it's a mess there. So it's really kind of dried that up a lot, which is sad. But state's really pretty, particularly in the fall. Really pretty with the colors and stuff when you get it, which is nice. So that's kind of why we moved. Do I miss anything? I miss the people. I miss I miss some friends that I've got back there that we keep in touch. But I miss people down here are different. They're not bad. They're just different. They're not as open. People are not as open as they are in West Virginia. People will get to know you and talk to you, and nobody knows a stranger hardly in West Virginia. So I mean, that's a really cool aspect of that state. And anybody would help you out. It's crazy down here. Not so much. Trying to make changes with that. Everywhere we go, we try to meet people and try to get people to open up and that kind of stuff. It's definitely different. Drivers down here, oh my God, they suck. They are the most impatient drivers I have ever seen. I mean, was it yesterday? Yesterday, I think it was yesterday. We were driving. I had just pulled out of our subdivision. Like there's a long straightaway, and some cars went by, and so I pulled out, and there's some other cars way off in the distance. I pull out, and I'm just getting up to speed, and then just down, I mean, half a mile from where you pull out, there's a traffic light, and there's an intersection right there. These cars, obviously, they were way over speed. The speed was 45 right there. And obviously, they were way over it because they caught up with me and decided to pass me on a double yellow. And then another car behind me decided to pass me within like half a mile, only to come down to the traffic light and get stopped by the traffic light. And we're turning left anyways. So I come out and I get all the way down there. They're stopped at the traffic light. I get over into the left lane, to make my left-hand turn, and my light goes green, and theirs is still red. And as we're going by, my wife's waving, and I give them a little toot on the horn and wave. You idiots! What are you in such a hurry for? You knew there was a traffic light, there was an intersection here. Why are you in such a hurry for? And then coming home earlier that day, had some idiot pass me going the opposite way, and I was getting ready to turn into our turning lane, and he passed me in the turning lane on this straightaway. You know, turn my blinker on, he just goes zipping around me. You know, about causes a wreck. This is what you deal with down here, people. There is like no patience, and I don't get it. They are morons. They want to get to the light for it. Yeah, it's funny. It's like they have to be first, and like on the interstate, you know, interstates around here, they get like bumper to bumper, and you're trying to merge. They don't want to let you merge because heaven forbid a car gets in front of you. Hey, Edron, answer your question a minute ago. I've had my beard, long beard, since like 2012, but I was growing one in 2010. But yeah, like they're in like this hurry, want to get bumper to bumper, and they fail to realize that when you're bumper to bumper, you can't go until the car in front of you goes. So if the car is way up, stop. It becomes a big accordion, and it takes forever to get going again. But if they would leave some space, cars could merge, and they could all keep going, and they wouldn't have to stop. But these people are too stupid to realize that. But anyways, so I miss more courteous drivers, and I miss some good friends, and I miss the hospitality. Not that there's not any of that down here, but it's far and away more abundant in West Virginia than in Florida. So, but yeah, lots of good people there, lots of good people. So if you're down this way in Florida, Central Florida, shoot me a message. And if you're flying drones, maybe we can meet up and chit chat or fly a bit. You know, we've got Disney passes now, so if you're going to Disney during the week, let me know. We can meet at Disney. So we finally got our passes. My wife's been hounding me for like 2 years. She's like, we need to get our passes. We need to get our passes. We need to get our passes. I'm like, no. We got our SeaWorld passes our first year down here, and we did that for a year, and that was fun. But then after the year, I was done with SeaWorld and Busch Gardens, and very near Lakeland. Lakeland is like 25 minutes from here. Are you in Lakeland or are you from Lakeland? If you're in Lakeland, we need to meet up. So yes, we got we took it from, where are you at now? Oh, you're in North Carolina. Ah, yeah, Lakeland's real close, like 25 minutes, just down the road. Like take 1792, I guess what it is, over to Lakeland. It's like 15 miles or something. I don't know, 16 miles from here. No, I'm in Haines City, so real close to Lakeland. We were in Davenport, which is a little bit farther north, but not too much farther, maybe 10 miles north from here. So yeah, so yeah, we got our Disney passes. We've been doing that a little bit. We're going Monday. It's my anniversary, 24 years. We've been together, so we're going to go to Magic Kingdom on Monday, and my wife's been missing Magic Kingdom. The last time we've been to Magic Kingdom was in 2006. So what is that? Let's see. How many years is that? 4 plus 10, 16 years, I guess it's been. Thank you, guys. Yep, many more. She's wanting to do Kauai again next year. We'll see, for our 25th. We went to Kauai in 2019. We fell in love. Loved that place. That place is awesome. And we want to go back. So she's wanting to do that. So we're going to try to do that. That's her plan, and we'll see if that goes. Has the HOA been called? Nope. The HOA here is currently ran by a management company because it's not turned over to the homeowners yet, because we haven't got the 75% capacity sold or something the other. So we've got our first HOA meeting though in November. So I'm hoping that when that happens, I want to see when it's going to get turned over to the homeowners, and I'm wanting to get involved with that. I'd like to be HOA president, because I'll be the guy, keep all these people in line, and then, but not be the guy who wants to make everybody's life miserable, you know. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully hopefully that works out pretty well. I wouldn't mind getting involved with that and kind of keeping that up, doing some good stuff around here, and keep the neighborhood up nice. So I can see, after moving in here, I can see some benefits, particularly after driving around some of the areas right now. I can see some really good benefits for having an HOA. They could also be a really big pain. That's why I want to be involved and keep them from being a pain. So wish me luck. Let's see here. Been to Lakeland. Oh, your dad used to live cool, you John. Yeah, it's not bad. There's some neat places to fly there, actually. Ranham and me we flew there. It's been a couple weeks ago, a little bit, and then there's some more places there that we want to hit. The bug zapper just got some. I got me a bug zapper. Check that out. See that thing up there? My buddy Dave down Sebring, he recommended those. So I got one there, and I've got one in the house closer to the patio door out back to catch all of the mosquitoes. Man, they are awful. Yeah, I think it'd be fun. It'd be fun to do the HOA stuff. We'll see. I mean, there's already, if you look through the HOA rules, we've already got tons of people violating all the rules. Now, I don't agree with all the rules, but there's people that's already violating all the rules. So we'll see if they'll be bringing up any of that stuff or not. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But, I'm not in favor of all the rules, but I do want to see people keep their yards up, kind of keep them cut, at least somewhat, regularly, and then keep their yards neat. Particularly like trash cans, that's one of the things they're already violating. They're not supposed to actually be outside, but there's a bunch of them that have them outside. They're actually supposed to be in your garage. So we'll see how that goes. Silence True's dead. No. Oh man, yeah, that's a good episode. That's a real good episode. That one, yeah. Oh man, yeah, that's funny stuff. They can be a pain in the butt. What was it? He went off like Nixon, wasn't it? He was like stealing money or something there. Or they accused him of stealing money. I don't know what it was, but he went out, got the planes, and he did the whole thing like Nixon did. I forget how Nixon did that. That's funny. If you don't know anything about Nixon, it wouldn't be nearly as funny. But if you know Nixon and the whole Watergate issue, that episode was hilarious. Let's see. What else we got here? Okay, so I got another funny question here. This is a weird one. So my buddy Mystery D, he wrote, I'm just going to read it, and you all can, and then I'll try to answer it here. You ever have one of those poops where you just keep wiping and wiping, and the paper has poo on it every time, and it feels like you'll never be done wiping, and you kind of wish you had a bidet because some poops are too sticky for paper, and it doesn't make any sense that we haven't adopted bidets in the USA. Yeah, I can say that I've had that happen. That's probably TMA, but yeah, that's happened. I'm sure it's happened to all of us. Bidets, though, somewhere we were at had one of those, and I tried it. That's the weirdest thing. That's just freaky, man. That's not natural. I don't know. And it didn't work all that well anyways. So I don't know. Maybe it wasn't a very good one, but it didn't work very good. And that was just weird. Maybe if you're gay, a gay man, you might enjoy a bidet more. I don't know. But for a straight man, that's just flat out weird. Sorry, Crunchy Thumbs. Too much information, definitely while you're eating. But anyway, so I think that's all the questions I had on here. Have you guys got any questions? Drone questions, personal questions, stupid questions? What kind of questions have you guys got? And I'll try to answer. You got to get through that forest to prepare for it to work. Yeah, that's the problem when you're a hairy man. I'm not quite that hairy, but yeah, a little bit. That can definitely be a problem. I had a friend. He had, see how much hair I got here? He had this much hair on his back. Well, not quite as bad, but it was pretty close to this on his back. He was a hairy dude. I'm sure it didn't work for him. So we might have to shave or something. Get somebody to shave. That'd just be weird too. I don't know. That's way too much information, I'm sure. So, oh man, this has been fun. You guys have been entertaining. Trying to find a Betaflight 431 tune for iFlight Chimera 7 analog if you know anyone that has one. I don't know anyone that has one, but typically with 7-inch, you want to lower your PIDs down. But I know with 4.3, they got those sliders and all that kind of stuff. So if I was looking for a tune, I would probably look at ones that had lower PID values, because typically you want a lot lower PIDs with 7-inch. But do you think you'll try flying 3D someday? You know, I've had that on my mind to do at some point, so maybe I'll try that. I don't know. My wife, you doing okay? Okay, I'm still finishing. She's just trying to check on, make sure I'm still alive, I think. Yeah, Flight's really good. It's pretty good out of the box, but yeah, just try lowering your PIDs down a little bit. You know, if you're just using the solders in, adjust the PD down just a little bit, or the max multiplier down just a little bit. You know, don't do much. Just do it a small bit at a time and see. Because usually what I end up with, at least with when I messed with my 7-inch, which needs to be rebuilt, I found that lower PIDs worked better. You know, otherwise I had too many vibrations. But I was running, what was I running on that thing? 4.1 maybe? I can't remember. But what would make an old school silverware whoop go nuts from that? Man, I've never used silverware. I have no idea. Going nuts though, probably some sort of vibration setting it off maybe, but I would, what type of frame have you got on that Birdman? Has it got like the typical whoop frame? You don't have any damage on your frame or anything, any cracks or anything, do you? I would look for that. Maybe look to make sure that the board is still, you know, mounted nice and solid. And I assume you tried new props on it. That would be 65mm frame. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've not used silverware. It's had a wild life, but yeah, it could just be the gyro, and it just might have some damage. I don't know. That's about the only thing I can think of. Yeah, I've had some, like the gyro. I remember Steele did a video, and he had one of his old KISS rigs, and then he ended up replacing the flight controller in it, and it was just the gyro had just finally worn out. You know, had taken enough hits that finally it was acting weird, and it had this weird twitch or oscillation or something he couldn't get rid of, and just changed the flight controller and everything was fine. You know, didn't change a single thing else, just the flight controller. So it's probably just got some damage somehow. Would be my guess, but I don't know. $45. Well, yeah, you're not out too much then. If you got a few flights out of that thing, then you definitely got your money's worth. So you can't beat. That's one thing about the whoops, man. You can build those things cheap. I've got the stuff to build not a whoop, but a toothpick. I've got all the stuff to build it, but I don't have the patience. So I might end up just giving that away. I might do a giveaway or something sometime and just give that thing away. Oh, speaking of giveaways, I did post about giving away this. And I had a bunch of responses, and then my post just went away. YouTube decided that my post needed to have an expiration date. And so I never did get around to doing that. So I'm going to do another video post with this and actually do a proper giveaway of this. So look for that this week. I think I'll make one this week. Check out how it's a transmitter glove, and it has a heater in it. So you can see that silver right there? It's got a heater in it. You can plug up a 3S battery, 2S, 3S battery in here. And it's got a little temperature control, and you can adjust how warm it is. And I've even got the little cutout for your strap to go through there for your transmitter. So I use this a lot in my Virginia. Super warm even without the heater. But with the heater, it's like toasty, super nice. So if you're in a cold climate and you want this, look for that video and comment on it. I'm looking for some funny stories. I had some funny stories from some people already on that post, but then the post went away and I don't know what happened to it. So anyways, Google decided that it expired or something there, and then I can't see the comments anymore. So I don't even remember who commented on it. So I'm going to do that again, and apologies to the people who did. Hopefully they'll do it again. So this is really cool. You can't get this. You can't get this anymore. You can't get that heater anymore. It was sold on Hobby King way back in the day, but you can't get it anymore. Works really well though. I don't know how dangerous it is, but it never gave me any fits. It gets warm, but it doesn't get like super hot. So it's pretty safe. You just use a 3S or less on it. And then this has like wool or something the other. I don't know if it's wool, but like fake wool maybe. It's pretty warm. But definitely keep your hands warm. So yeah. So look for that. That'll be something fun to do. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Falcon Ride might like that. Yeah, he flies in the cold, cold stuff, man. That dude's got some cool setups, man. I love the stuff. I don't have the guts to do what he does, flying that far out. I did long range in West Virginia, up a mountain about a mile or so away, and that was super scary for me. And that's about as far as I would want to push it. And down here, though, doing long range is hard because it's flat. What you think would be easier, but it's worse because you can't get any elevation to get over stuff in your way. You know, it's hard to find places that you can fly long range down here because there's always something in your way. Makes it really tough. Yeah, unless you're fog running, then you plug in a 6S. Yeah, Mister, I'm gonna plug in a 6S into my walks. Was it walks now that he did that too? I can't remember. And like Friday, or I don't remember what it was. I think it was the walks and stuff, right? The Fat Shark goggles. That we did that too. And yes, I'm still flying the Bubby frame. Love this thing. So I've got two of them. One of them I've got to replace the ESC on, which I've got. I got here. I finally like fried an ESC on one. But as far as durability goes, man, this thing can't be beat. It's like near unbreakable. So the Z packs. I need to get some more batteries. Lipo companies, make some square batteries. I love these things. This is the BubbyFPV Moxy frame. You get it at rotorriot.com. And I've got like a bunch of them for spares, but I haven't had to use. I've used, I think, one piece. Like I had to replace a top plate or something the other. I broke, and it was only like the little snippet right here, and that was after like months and months of just beating the snot out of it. These are 4S square packs. I still fly 4S. I have no desire to fly 6S. 4S works for me. I don't want to change. I'm happy with it. But, you know, it does have its drawbacks, that's for sure. Look at these poor props. Look at this one here. This is the result of some of the line of sight flying from the other day. I'd like nearly destroyed the propeller, and there were some guys walking around doing some videoing with a little the little Mavic Mini, and they came by and doing like solar panels. You know, they're doing surveying and stuff for some solar panels, and they were telling us they were going to be doing that, you know, so we wouldn't be freaked out or anything. I said, "Oh no, I didn't bother me." I said, "But you ain't seen anything like these, I'm sure." So I showed it to them, and then I got it out and I did a little line of sight flying there, and then the prop, it gave out while I was flying and it fell and crashed. But they thought that thing was cool. Then I showed them some freestyle videos. They thought that was pretty awesome. 3 brand new square 4S. Heck yeah, man. What do you want for them? Shoot me a message. I'll take, if you got some of these square ones, man, I'll take them off your hands. Was that clickbait? Well, no. I mean, I hadn't flown line of sight in a while. So I did try line of sight again. It had been months since I've really flown line of sight. And I've got another line of sight video coming with some actual proximity. I almost pulled off a Matty flip over one of those picnic things. And then tried to do some power loops on it, but I failed at those. I did manage to fly through it and that kind of stuff. So I'm getting better at it. So I flew line of sight. I got into doing line of sight flying after doing FPV. Well, I flew the line of sight with the first drone that I had, but that was an angle mode. It wasn't acro mode. And then I flew line of sight with the little toy one that I had. Again, that was like angle mode. But I got into doing acro line of sight one day back in West Virginia. I had one of my quads was giving me fits on the video. And like, no matter what I did, I was getting all this awful noise. And so it was like, you couldn't fly it. And I got so mad, I finally just like, I said, screw it. I ripped out the VTx out of it while I was out at the park. And I said, screw it, I'm just gonna fly line of sight. And so I like flew the rest of my packs that I had there working on line of sight, and I kind of got hooked on it. And so then like for like several weeks, that was the only way I flew was line of sight there at the park and practiced it for a while. And then I fly a little bit of line of sight here and there just to kind of practice, but nothing like, not anything great, just, you know, little, I'll take a pack or something every once in a while, maybe once a month or something, and do that. But I haven't done that in probably more than a year. Hadn't flown line of sight, and so it was kind of all fresh to me again. So cool. I'll hit you up there, Mike, when we get done with this live stream. But yeah, so you know, it wasn't all clickbait, maybe a little, but not really. You know, I've flown line of sight, but not a lot. But it's fun, and I'm going to try. My goal, which you'll see in the next video, I'll talk about this. My goal is to fly a whole, get a flight in that, if you didn't know any better, would look like FPV. You know, I want to get well enough at it that I can do some gaps and be consistent and fly nice, you know, a couple of lines all together in one pack and make it look like an actual proximity FPV flight. So yeah, line of sight is not easy. I'll tell you what though, it makes a huge difference in your FPV flying. You should practice it for a couple of reasons. One, it'll help you with knowing what your quad is doing whenever you're doing stuff on the sticks so that you can get better at timing, particularly down low to the ground. And for timing tricks, that kind of stuff makes a big difference. It can be really handy if you lose video and you need to lie it back to yourself. Can be really good. And it's good for testing. So like if you want to test stuff out without, you know, having to break out the goggles and, you know, you want to make sure everything's working. You don't want things to freak out on you when you're under the goggles, you know, really handy to be able to at least fly with it looking away from you, but better if you can fly it with it looking at you, you know. And for me, if you want to get good at practicing, first practice flying it this way, moving it, you know, in, out, back and forth, all facing the same way. And then turn it sideways, do the same thing, turn it this way, do the same thing, then turn it at you and make it fly back towards you, side to side, and then learn to do like some figure eights, like you go out, you make a turn, get around, make another turn, and do like a figure eight pattern. You do those things and you can get pretty good at least keeping orientation and some basics. Then you can start adding some, you know, acrobatics in there with it. And if you've flown planes, you know, it helps a lot. The problem with this versus a plane, well, even with planes too, but not nearly as much, is orientation because this thing's symmetrical. So one thing that helps is different color props on the back or front, so that you can tell, you know, which way you're pointing. Can help a lot. With a plane, you've got the difference. You got the big wing and the little wing, and the helicopter, you know, you've got the shape of it. You can kind of, helicopter is similar to this though as far as orientation, but I've not really flown any helis, just like a toy one once, and I did terrible. Planes I've flown a couple of times, but not very much. They're fun though, but I'm just not flown very many. Let's see here. Yeah, if you've flown planes and helis, man, line of sight should be pretty easy. That's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, it's different though. I mean, it's different than the planes, but it's similar, but it is definitely a little bit different, mostly because you can't tell the orientation. I think if you just put different colors on there, you could probably do it pretty good. Quads. Oh, KK2. Did you ever watch the dude? What was that guy's name? Simple Copter. That dude like flew like the tricopters. He made the tricopters out of wood and flew those things line of sight. That dude was awesome with line of sight flying. Put those things crazy good. I would like to be that good with the line of sight flying. He was really good at it. But he flew the tricopters, man. And I always wanted to buy one of those, but I never did. And I wanted to build one, but I never did. You can do it, Nappy. Just start with it and then just practice it. You'll get better at FPV if you practice line of sight, guaranteed. Yeah, look up. I think it's simplecopter.com. Maybe. I mean, I think he still has his website. He probably still sells stuff, as far as I know. Dude was good. He was on a Road to Ride episode a long time ago too. They met up with him when they were doing that one with like I think they made that guitar. I think it was a guitar. They made a guitar fly with Steel and some of those guys. I'm pretty sure. And he flew those things on KK2. Working tuning KK2 on my Hobby Cat Dead Cat 450. Yeah, that's a nightmare. Of course, if you're flying at line of sight, you won't notice too much of the tuning issues. You might hear them, but you won't see them, but you can hear them for sure. Yeah, the old quads, man, they're fun. I need to go. I need to get this thing flying again. I'd like to put it back with its old NASA stuff, but I don't know if you can even buy that stuff now. Maybe secondhand. Put the old NASA flight controller on here from DJI. It was actually it flew really good for line of sight GPS drone. Flew really good with that setup, and it was rock solid, safe, really nice. Flew forever. Yeah, it's a 450, not the 550. Let's see here. Can't believe we thought the old quad. Yeah, man, those things flew terrible. It's funny because the people flying now, they have no clue at just how bad quads. Like you couldn't just put one together and it flies. Like you can just put one together with anything now and it will fly okay. You can fly it for a long time and not really have too many issues. Back then, if you did that, it would be like it'd like shake out of its skin if you didn't get it right. Open Pilot. Do you ever try Libra Pilot? That was another one that I think it derived off of Open Pilot on the CC3D. It was a little bit better than Open Pilot. It was a little easier to set up. Yep. I had a friend, when I met him the first time, I was using Betaflight and he was flying Libra Pilot. And I got him to switch to Betaflight after he saw how terrible his quad flew versus the Betaflight quads. And then he moved on from that there. Yeah, I see here radio mixes. Oh man, that's way back. That's before my time, but I've seen the videos and stuff of doing that stuff, setting those up. I remember watching video after video for setting up the DJI stuff on the flight control on this with like the radios. And I had a what was that? It was a what was that? Deviant? I can't remember. Deviant, I can't remember. It was like a 7-channel radio. I like to never got that thing configured to be able to do all the switches that I wanted to like control the camera. I had like a tilt thing to control the camera and stuff, on there. And I finally got all of it configured. I think I made a video on how to do it, but man, that was way back in the day. Devo, that's it. Every time I hear that, I think about the band with the crazy hats. Whip it. That might be before some of y'all's time, maybe not. Yeah, I had the inexpensive one. It was like the E7 I don't remember, E10, I don't know, whatever the thing was, 10E, I don't know. It was like the cheaper one. The radio actually was pretty good. The receivers, they were massive. They were terrible. I think I still got the radio back in West Virginia. I think it's in the closet somewhere. But we still got our house back there, so I've still got some stuff. I've got an old RC10 truck that I need to get down here that I converted to brushless. Although I really just need to build a new one. I need to get because the transmission of that thing is shot, and you can't find the parts for the transmission anymore. So, which kind of sucks because it needs a new transmission. That thing is worn out. It like slips like crazy. You can't get it to really lock in like it needs to. It slips way too much, and so it takes forever to get going. And it does weird stuff whenever you jump and stuff. Oh, really? You got the NASA stuff? Okay, yeah, I'll have to do that. I want to rebuild that thing because it was fun. I'd like to rebuild it, put a proper FPV camera on a tilt, and kind of use it for surveying like spots and stuff, maybe for retrieval or something, if I need it. But like for scouting stuff out would be kind of fun. I don't want to put like a nice camera. I just want to put like an FPV camera on a gimbal or something that I can tilt down and control. Maybe just with a servo or something. Let's see here. What else we got here? What other questions you guys got? Trying to think of what else to chat about. It's been going on in our lives. Let's see here. Quad wise. Oh, I know most of you guys don't do analog, but these I don't know if these work with probably don't work with the DOCAZOO. These are really good. Like I'd used the Lollipop for a while, but this version 4 Plus or whatever, really good. Performance is way better. Like particularly with this Freestyle VTx. The other one that I had, where's it at? It's on my other one. It's I think it's a 3 or a 4. I don't remember, but it's like a yellow one. It worked pretty well, but this is really well. Oh, and my buddy in Germany sent me the other day, it's been a couple weeks now, these really cool antennas. Really good performance, even for these little short stubby ones. Like if you had the longer ones, like the guy sells longer ones, but these are much better for transport. But he sells longer ones. Man, the performance would be excellent because this got better performance than these longer ones that reached over the top of my head. So like this, reach over my head. This actually got better performance behind me. Like I could stand outside the garage here, fly behind the house, through the house, behind it, down low. And with this, I got quite a bit of breakup on the back side of the house through all the block. But with these, I got very little breakup, which was pretty impressive, I thought. Antenna friends. I don't remember. It's the German for antenna friends. I'm going to make a video about them here in the near future. I've been meaning to do it for a while to talk about these, but I want to compare performance with these and do a video showing the difference, but I haven't done it yet. I need to. But big difference between those. Perfect size motor for KV for 7-inch freestyle. Well, mine, I've got like 1500 KV on mine, but I wouldn't recommend that for 7-inch. Just slightly more. Maybe I would go with like 1700. What's up, Explicit? I'd go for like probably 1700 KV. And I was doing 1500 on 6S on my 7-inch, and it worked pretty well. But 7-inch with 6S with 1700 would give you gobs of power. So that's the way that I would go, and do like, what are the motors I've got on my 7-inch? Let me see. What are these things? I think these are 2408s. Let me see. No, these are 2807s is what I've got on here now. This works really well with, I've flown it with 4S on 7-inch and 6-inch, and it was fine. 6S on 7-inch with these motors is really good. This is like 1500 kV, so they're just slightly underpowered, which works well for like proximity freestyle. If you want a little more power, though, I would say 1700 or maybe 1650 would be maybe a good compromise for being able to do proximity and more higher speed top flying, and you get longer flight times, of course, too. But yeah, these are really good. These are, what I'll say, these were 2807s. Yeah, 2807s, Eco 2s, really good motors. So yeah, that's what I would do. Alpha has 2806 with 1300 kV. Yeah, I mean, that would be fine. These are like 15s. I think these are 15s. Pretty sure they're 15s. And it works pretty well. But like, if you really want to have a lot more power, I would say like, I would do like 1650 or 1700. And it's not too much on 6S even with that. You can dial it back if you want to, but it'd be pretty good. Let's see here. Yeah, 1750 long range. Yeah, heck yeah. You fly forever on this thing, man. I mean, it's got so much thrust. You can just give just a little throttle. You're cruising, man, like 70, 80 miles an hour. Just cruise on, just barely any throttle, which is nice. You can fly forever on that setup. And then if you do like the lithium ion and you're not like, punching throttle, man, you fly a long time. I think that's what Falcon Rad does. I need to check his setup at some point. I would like to build a long range setup, but like I said before, flying long range down here is like, it's tough to find the good spots. I found a couple spots that would be really good to do it, but I've not rebuilt my 7-inch to do that. I need to. Good antennas for the Fat Shark Scouts. Does it use SMAs on it? I don't know. I've never looked at the Scout. Is that the one with the big box? Is that the big box thing from Fat Shark? Yeah. I would say I liked, before I got these ones from my buddy in Germany, I liked these. These are the Off-Light. It's their long range antennas. And I really like these. These are really good. And then as far as a patch antenna, like if you want to have, further out, let's see, where's that one? Let me find it. Hang on. Find it in my box, but I haven't had that in a while. Just this. This is a good combo too, actually. This is a good Omni. This is Menace RC. This is the Periscope, I think. Really good because it's nice and long. It's up over your head. Really good. And then I just paired that with just the normal spewer net. And I've got another one, not this one. It's got a little bit. It's from Chew RC. They've got like a bigger patch. That's like I think it's like 12 dBi. And I used to use that on my stuff, but this patch here works really well. Just basic, cheap, works pretty well. And then the other thing that I've used that I had good luck with, although they're a little pricey, I use these on my my analog setup. This is the VAS Crosshair. I don't even remember, but they sell the whole set with the mount for like the Fat Sharks. But you could probably adapt this to work on other things too, probably. But they sell like this whole set. I think it's like $65. So it's a little pricey, maybe $60. I can't remember. But performance when you're flying out in front of you is ridiculous. Like I actually got better reception, really good reception with this, like flying out away from me behind buildings you know, uber good performance on this. I'd like to set this up. I should probably try to figure out a way of setting this up on my my HDZero stuff and see how well it works, because these were ridiculous as far as performance goes. And they had okay performance behind you, but not very far. A better one as far as getting good performance out, not as good as these, but good and better behind you was, oh, what is the name of that? Man, I can't think of the name of it now. Shoot. What was the name of that? I've got a video that shows them at some point, some of her back. I'll try to remember. If I remember, I'll put it in the description down this, what it was. If I remember to do that. If I can find it. I can't remember. But they were smaller than this. They worked really good. And they had like a double thing built into it. What's the name of that? I can't remember. I can't remember. It's been a while. I've got them to see it somewhere. But they were like kind of tiny. And they worked really well for patches. Let's see here. Pagoda. Yeah, Pagoda's good too. New padding for HDOs. Newbie Drone has really good padding. I got this. This is actually for fat sharks, but I tweaked it a little bit to make it fit these. But I got this on Amazon. I think it was Amazon. Yeah, for sure it was Amazon. They had like several. And it's like this real cushiony stuff. And then I had to modify it and put a little piece of foam in here to block the light on the corners here. But for these, because these are a little bit different shape. These Amways, they're a little different shape. But this foam here is really good. I think I got it on Amazon. But Newbie Drone has good stuff. I bought that one. It's like a pleather, and I used that for a long time, and that worked really, really, really well. I used it for a long, long time. It worked great. Yeah, these have a patch in them too, but I modified it, took out the built-in ones and put these in. These are great, and this is like the old Fat Shark thing, but mounting these was a pain in the butt because it used like a double-sided tape that didn't work, so I had to glue them. Pull out the old glue and glue the suckers in there so they don't come out. That was one downside with that. I'm looking forward to the HDZero goggles. I'd like to get those at some point, maybe, if I can get the money. But I got other things to spend money on right now, and those are working. So let's see if I've missed any other questions here while I've been blathering on here. Let's see here. Go back here. Let's see. I think I got everything answered so far. You guys have been asking. How long have we been on here? We've been about an hour or so. It's not too bad. How we got here? Still got 7 of you guys. I can't believe y'all hanging out this long. Cool. Appreciate it. Let's see. I need to get a setup so that I can do a live stream with the digital stuff. I've got most of the items in my Amazon wish list. I think that I need to do it. Where am I from? Originally born in Kentucky and Eastern Kentucky. Moved to, I've lived in Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia for the longest actually. And then we moved from West Virginia down here a couple years ago, down to Florida. So yeah, my accent's probably pretty thick. A bit like a Georgia accent, but not quite that bad. Probably the strongest accent I've ever heard was on the border of North Carolina and Virginia. That area, the rural area through there, really strong accent. They say things like water, need some water to drink. It's kind of like the northern accent. Was it? Is it Maine or Massachusetts? Where they say in the draw, in the car, my draws. They got that. They don't say the R's very clear. They kind of the ah sound. Lived in Cincinnati for a couple years. From Miami. Where are you at now, Eric? Are you back in Florida? Are you still in Ohio or somewhere else? Yeah, accents are funny. Mine's terrible. You know, when I was younger, we moved from Kentucky to Ohio, and I got that Ohio accent. You know where they have like the IE sound? You know where they put the E sound into like the I's? There's like this IE. I had that really bad when I was younger. So that kind of comes out every now and again. The Ohio accent comes out. The Kentucky accent comes out. The West Virginia accent comes out. Cincinnati, South Florida. Cool. Dade County. Okay. Cool. Do you know? I got a couple of friends down there that. Well, one of them he comes up here every now. Wabba Wabba FPV and ASIC FPV. They come up this way sometimes. I haven't got to meet ASIC in person yet. I've talked to him on the phone, but I've not got to meet him in person yet. At some point, we're going to meet up and fly together. But Wabba Wabba comes up every now and again, and we usually meet up somewhere in Kissimmee and fly. There's like an abandoned hotel there that we like to fly, and there's an abandoned golf course we fly, and a couple other places that we've met up to fly. So yeah, if you're ever up this way, hit me up, and we'll go fly some. I like meeting new people. Who carries that Menace antenna? You should the longer one, not the. Look up the Menace periscope. I can't remember where I've seen it in the States, but they definitely carry it overseas. But I'm pretty sure you can get it here. Menace RC is who makes it. So I think there's some dealers here that have it. Let me see if I can. It's the Menace RC periscope. Let me see. Menace RC. Periscope. Pretty sure I saw it at one of the retailers. Yeah, Race Day Quads has it, and Get FPV has it. Let me see if they've got Race Day Quads has it in stock. Yeah, in stock's like $13, $13.49. So just search Menace RC. If you can get this to come up, I get this come focus or not. But yeah, Menace RC, $13.49. So yeah, pretty cheap. Yeah, they definitely support us. That's for sure. I buy stuff. Now here's a funny story though. So I can buy stuff from Power. I prefer to buy from Power Drone. Funny enough, because I can get stuff faster from Power Drone in California than I can from Race Day Quads, who's 25 miles up the road in Orlando. How's that for weird? I don't know how that works, but I'll buy it from Pyro and it'll be here 2 days like max. I mean, that's like crazy. Sometimes I swear one time I ordered it and it was here the next day. I'm not joking. That's with the regular shipping. It's crazy. I don't know what the hookup that Serge has with the post office, but he's got the hookup with whatever it is to get stuff from there to here, like fast. Race Day needs to figure that out with the people in Orlando. I don't know. And the same thing, it's even worse with Rotor Right. They're the worst as far as getting stuff quick. Terrible. Love those guys. I really do. Those guys are great, but they're terrible at getting stuff out in a timely fashion. And shipping is like slow as molasses. It's crazy. Yes, I don't know. They need to figure that out. They need to get with Serge and figure out what his tricks is with the post office because they haven't got to figure it out. And I haven't bought anything from Get FPV in forever. I used to buy from them all the time when I was in West Virginia. They were always pretty good, pretty quick. On this here, yeah, it's bendable. Let me show you. Let me get this thing out here. This is my little trick with the bags. I keep everything in these little bags. Yeah, so bendable. It like holds the shape pretty well too. But you can make it real straight. You can twist it however you want. Really nice. This feels almost like metal. I think it's just metal. Like a nice sheet around this. Really nice. Good antenna. I think they make one that's like a straight on too, but this is designed for the others. But you could put this on there and then bend it up like that. It wouldn't be too bad. It wouldn't be as long, but you could do that. But I think they make a straight on one too, I believe. I might be mistaken about that, but I think they make a straight on version. Pretty sure I saw one. They may not have it in the States, but they definitely make one, I'm pretty sure. It definitely works really well. Performance is really good on those, particularly because it comes way up high. And these pagodas, they work really well because they've got like 2 boards in there, and those boards reception is really, 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 really good with those. So can't complain. And I don't know what these are exactly, what he's doing here, but these things are crazy good too. Like I said, this is from like Antenna Friends, like in Germany. The dude makes them, and he tunes them by hand to what they need to be. So these are like specifically tuned for the HDZero stuff on the race band stuff. Really good performance, really good. I've been happy with those things. Yeah, Pagoda is definitely the best. Probably one of the best as far as Omni antennas. At least that's been my experience with everything that I've used. So yeah. Yep. So Explicit, how's the Avata working out? I would like to get the new HDZero goggles. That's my plan. If I get some extra funds, maybe for Christmas if they're out by then. That might be my Christmas present. So we'll see. If they're out then, and I've got the money for it, might do that. If I get a good Christmas bonus from work, we usually do get a pretty good bonus.